everyone, this is FantasyEsque and welcome back to the Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. We are picking up in the newly built banquet hall that the Queen prepared especially for the hybrid demon prince's visit. So what happened in the mini-movie before we got to this point? Well, the Queen and Catalea, along with matchmaker K, Salak, were at Lagatha Lounge, which is where they arranged for, their foreign guests to come and stay. And Catalea was introducing the matchmaker to the Queen, saying, "This is my good friend," even though I think we know that there might not necessarily be a normal sort of friendship between Catalea and the matchmaker. Catalea, was sent by the demon faction a long time ago to worm her way into the vampiric ranks, so that she can help kind of strengthen relations between the two kingdoms without the vampires realizing it, because who knows, in the long term it may be in the demon's favor. And so most likely matchmaker K is just someone that the demon faction has kind of paired her up with to make this match between one of their princes and the Salazar heiress. So anyways, she introduced the matchmaker and the Queen greeted him and basically said with, throwing a banquet in honor of the prince, so I'll see you there again. And I think matchmaker was saying that the prince will join us later once I've done making arrangements for him. I was supposed to come ahead and, prepare stuff, and then he'll be here at the banquet. So then we jump to the actual banquet, and the matchmaker introduced His Highness Prince Mordred Sahin. So we got to see finally what he looks like, even though you guys have only been anticipating what he looks like for an episode now. But hey, it felt like a long time for me because I have had days between the last episode and this one. But we saw the prince, and the Queen greeted him and was introducing Princess Kyra, saying that I hope you find the banquet to your liking, and this is my daughter and heiress, Princess Kyra Salazar. And Mordred, he was looking at Kyra and he said, "So you are as beautiful as the rumors say. I was half expecting them to be lies." And I feel like there was a little bit of awkwardness there, and then Kyra, she said, "Greetings, your highness," and she was being courteous because she's sitting at the head of the table with the Queen, and she's expected to be smiling, and she's expected to be nice and pleasant because she's the whole reason they're coming here. She can't exactly disgrace the family as the heiress. So yeah, she was being nice, and then the Queen said, "Yes, she and Bloom are my prettiest daughters." And then she said, "That's enough. Please sit down and join us." And that's exactly where we are picking up. Now, I feel like, Matchmaker K creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like even when he met the Queen, he had this evil smile on his face. And he's just overly excited about everything. Obviously, this whole prospect, meeting the Queen, all these kind of things. He's just overly excited about this whole situation. I definitely feel like Prince Mordred is a lot more calm than him. But I also feel like Mordred is a tad bit snide. He does have, a bit of, I don't know if I'd call it snobbishness. Maybe he does have a bit of snobbishness about him, but I feel as though he came into this almost looking down at the princess, and he's kind of looking across at the table, and he feels like, yeah, I was right to, be half expecting the rumors to be lies because half the princesses aren't even that great to look at. This is Mordred's opinion. I feel like this is kind of his attitude right now. But Kyra truly is exceptional, and, she is quite beautiful. So he is acknowledging that, and he's intrigued by that. But I feel like he's still kind of in his own head, being the prince, and he's not really humble. But I do feel he has, I don't know if his groundedness is because he just doesn't give a crap about what's happening, or if he is just a bit more like put together than Matchmaker K is. But guys, I love the fact that we have some red-skinned males with horns. Like, horns? Oh, I haven't seen these horns for a long time, probably since did Antonio have them when he got turned into like the bloodthirsty demon? I don't remember, but I remember Morgana Devil had horns. I don't know what color her horns were, but I remember her having horns for like brief period back in Generation 2. But it's nice to see some people from the demon faction. But okay, that's what happened in the mini movie, and now we are here continuing the banquet. Everyone's seated. This is the hold on. This is the new banquet hall that we have. Actually, let me just quickly show you guys from the outside. So I did kind of add a banquet hall to the castle. It kind of continues along here, and you know, we've made up a little bit of a garden with a nice tree and such. And in the banquet hall, we have essentially just, you know, a dining table with some fireplaces so that we can host any guests that we have, and our household is like really full. And then we also have some bubble blows here and some music. So I kind of wanted to let these guys mingle for this episode, and I kind of wanted this episode to be about getting to know Matchmaker K and getting to know the Demon Prince. Now, something I want to chat about is how, like, the demon faction works in terms of their royalty, because some of you, you know, were asking questions about what's going to happen if this mysterious demon prince marries Kyra. Like, is Kyra going to still be able to fight the queen for the crown, or is she going to become the queen of, you know, the demon faction? Or like, what's going to happen once this this mysterious prince marries Kyra? Like, is she exclusively having his children, or what's going on with that? So I thought, and then you guys, you know, were mentioning the demon royal family. So I'll explain a few things about how the demon faction works in that regard. So the demon faction doesn't have one royal family the way the Salazar Empire does. They don't work like that. They don't have an emperor. They don't have an empress. They don't have a queen or a king. So the demon faction is actually ruled by a number of leading houses that each have a high prince. And that high prince has, you know, 3 or 4 mistresses, because the demons, they don't really marry. The purpose of a matchmaker for them, and Kay is very well known in the demon faction, the point of a matchmaker for them is to pair up partners that will produce certain kinds of offspring. That's kind of their goal, because the demons, they don't really marry within their realm. That's not something they practice or do. So this is like a whole new thing for them as well. They're seeing it as a political opportunity, obviously. But like I was saying, so we have a high prince in each of these, you know, various houses. And then the high prince has 3 or 4 mistresses. And with those 3 or 4 mistresses, he has like several children. And those children, they get called princes and princesses. So they actually have several royal families. And Prince Mordred is just one of the princes in one of those royal families. So even though he is a royal, he isn't like the one prince they have, or the heir, or anything like that. He is just one of the princes born within one of these royal families, because, you know, the demons, they have many. And yeah, so he's got like a ton of half brothers, half sisters, brothers, sisters. And he's kind of unique, I suppose, because he is a vampire demon hybrid. And so some of his siblings are entirely demons, some of them are vampire demon hybrids like him, others are demon and something else hybrids. So it's like a mess, a total mess. There's all sorts of different things going on, and he just happened to be one of the princes that Matchmaker K thought was suitable for a pairing with, the vampiric empire, the Salazar Empire, because as we've established, there are various vampiric races, I feel. We've only been in touch with visitants and, the Salazars. Also, in the previous episode, I think I was going on about the difference between the races and the species and all that stuff. It can be confusing when you talk a little bit too much and you haven't had time to think things out. But what I was getting at, essentially, and probably what I should have said instead of the whole race and species thing, the vampires and the spellcasters, this actually makes more sense, they would count as different races, but then the Salazars and the visitants would count as different cultures, if that makes sense, ethnicities and cultures. So with with Eve, she is racially a full vampire, right? In terms of her race, she's a pure vampire. But culturally, she's half visitant. Ethnically, she's half visitant and half Salazar. Whereas we go to someone like Chance and Azora and Estelle. So they are racially hybrids as well as being ethnically hybrids. So, culturally, they are visitant and they are Salazar. Well, they're not Salazars per se, but they belong to this empire. And then also, in terms of race, they are half vampire, half spellcaster. So, if that's confusing, again, let me know. I'll type it out in the comments to clarify. But that's kind of what was going on in my mind, came to me, and I was like, wait a second, maybe that would have been a better explanation. So when we talk about the princesses being hybrids, we don't mean their race, we're talking culturally. Because they're pure vampires, but their father is from a different kingdom of vampires and a different kind of vampires that look a bit different, and their mothers, they're from a different kingdom of vampire. But at the end of the day, they're all vampires, So, okay, I am gonna let these guys kind of mingle amongst themselves. And also, let's kind of go through the personalities of these two characters. So this is also as well as the prince kind of presenting himself to everyone and meeting them or seeing their faces. This is also the prince getting to see Kyra and Kyra getting to see the prince for the first time. So the queen's not diving into an engagement or anything like that just yet. They have made an agreement with the demon faction, or on behalf of the queen, Catalea has kind of accepted the match, but the matchmaking process isn't exactly complete yet, which is why the matchmaker has come with the prince. They still are doing introductions, they're still gonna mingle a bit, give them some time, and then it's gonna be a little bit of a slow process maybe to get the engagement done, and then eventually the wedding. Then no one's rushing into it. This is just them familiarizing themselves. So it's not like the queen made the decision in the previous episode and, Kyra's having to get married in this one. It's not gonna be that quick. So she's gonna have time to kind of get used to his presence before they end up together. But yeah, this is a unique situation because we haven't had a royal family member marry a male before. We've had females. We haven't had a male marry. And, the prince is marrying into the Salazar Empire, so he's leaving the demon faction behind. But also, I think the demons are hoping if, he marries Kyra and they have children, obviously there's a chance of their child being the heiress, and so there might be in the future a half-demon heiress to the vampire throne. Isn't that going to be great for the demons? So, yeah, that's also something to consider between the two of them here. So, Matchmaker K, he's got the red skin, he's got the black horns, he's got pink hair, bright pink hair, and he's got, I think, purple eyes just like Catalea. In terms of his traits, he's a snob, So he is quite well known within the demon faction for, what he does. And I think that makes him quite proud, and he puts himself on a bit of a pedestal, like a bit of a know-it-all. But he does get gloomy from time to time because it is a lonely life, I should say. Because he himself doesn't have any mistresses or any children. He kind of just dedicates all his time to pairing up other demons. And he's adventurous in terms of his pursuits and the matches that he likes to make. And that's probably one of the reasons why he's so popular, is because he doesn't make like the conventional pairings. He thinks outside the box. And that's also partially why the demons have a lot of these like hybrid children, and they have all these kind of weird royal families and such, is because Matchmaker K has made these matches, and it's kind of changed the way the demon faction is a little bit. It's kind of influenced the kind of children that are born and such. And then we have Prince Mordred. So Matchmaker K, probably working in line with most of the royal families and like I said, the leading houses. They approached him when, they together concocted this idea that first send Catalea, and then when Catalea, she's probably been feeding them intel while she's been here as well. She probably saw an opportunity with Channing dying, saying that actually the heiress, perhaps we can marry the heiress off with one of, our princes in the demon faction, and that is going to help solidify the links between the two kind of groups, right? And so once the houses, they had kind of agreed on that, they approached Matchmaker K to pick a son from one of their houses that he thinks would be able to basically cut it out in the Salazar Empire, because as well as having certain qualifications like being, a hybrid, a vampire and demon hybrid, they, I think, wanted someone who outwardly looked like a demon as well. Some of the hybrid children they have don't have the red skin, but the demons wanted that because in the future, if the Salazars, if they have an heiress with red skin, imagine that. If they had a princess with red skin, that is a clear link to demon heritage you cannot deny. So they're thinking in the future about all these kind of things, and Matchmaker K is thinking about these things, as well as someone with the personality that would be able to live within the empire based on what Catalea has said, without kind of being shoved around by some of the others. So Matchmaker K, he, after looking through the various sons in the houses, chose Prince Mordred. So Mordred's personality, he's high maintenance, he loves the outdoors, and he's evil, guys. He is evil. So he kind of has a bit of a disdain for others, and that makes him quite, I think, defensive of himself. So he kind of doesn't let other people push him around or shove him around, because he believes that he is deserving of a certain kind of treatment, and also he doesn't pity people that easily, because, he's got that slightly more evil mindset. He cares about himself more than others and what brings him joy. So I suppose Matchmaker K and the others kind of felt as though he won't get in trouble in the vampire kingdom, in the vampire empire. What am I saying? Salazar Empire. So many words to describe this place in which we live. But yeah, he wouldn't get in trouble, and he'd kind of focus on his own things, and it wouldn't be easy for other people to trick him and plot. But also, he loves the outdoors, and that's probably one of the reasons also why he was sent. He probably never really wanted to be confined to the demon faction in his homeland, so he was kind of okay with the idea of having to move somewhere else and go somewhere else. But, he's also high maintenance. I mean, he is a prince. He grew up as a prince in one of the royal houses, so he feels as though he is just as important, if not more important, than any of the princesses that he's meeting. And the other thing to note, even though the demon faction has princes and princesses, at the end of the day, they only have, each of the houses, they have their own high prince. They don't have a high princess. So males kind of have a bit more status and authority than the females do. So with him coming into this, empire, he probably is not someone who's gonna like being talked down to by Kyra or by a partner or a spouse. And I think the demons wanted someone who is going to exercise just that little bit of authority so that if anything does happen, they're not going to just be compliant to the queen and kind of let her run amok and, you know, destroy the demons or anything like that. Like, he's actually going to stand up for the demons and say, no, this is what I believe we should do. So there we go. Or someone who the vampires would be a little bit concerned cheesing off. Someone they'd have to maybe just a little bit tiptoe around. So there we go. That is Mordred. He's, you know, got the red skin. Does he have mint eyes? I think he's got mint eyes and he's got the brown hair. So I love the way he looks. I really do. I love the way Matchmaker K looks too. And he's got the golden horns because, you know, he's a royal, so he's got the golden horns. But okay, I am gonna hit this on play. I think I've gone ahead and turned autonomy on, so everyone more or less should be able to interact with each other within the banquet hall. You know, they can dance, they can chat, they can use the bubble blower, but for this episode, we're kind of spending time in the banquet hall here. I'm really curious to see who's going to interact with the demon prince. Look at him! He's looking at Kyra. He's looking at Kyra. Kyra's walking around, and he is totally checking Kyra out. Yeah, I'm very curious about who the matchmaker and the prince are going to be interacting with, who's going to have conversation. Now, a lot of these vampires, obviously, they can't eat the food, but food was still served in case anyone could / were hungry, and I think, you know, they weren't really sure about the prince's appetite and matchmaker K's appetite, so obviously they'd want to make sure they're catering for everyone, and then, you know, the kids, they can eat the food over here. But Matchmaker K, guys, he is also a vampire demon hybrid, and that's probably one of the reasons why within the demon faction he likes making these hybrid pairings quite a lot, or like mixed race pairings, because he himself is one, and so he kind of is a great example of what the demons kind of should be pursuing. And then, like, he is a success story that he sells. Like, he is the success story he sells to the other demons. And so whenever there's like demon royalty that want to find mistresses for, you know, their mansion or their houses, or they want to pair up their children with other demons, then they all go to Matchmaker K, and he basically organizes them, or he sends people their way. So yeah, that's kind of more about the demons. I actually thought it would be fun to, as well, you know, explore, because we've been hearing demon faction since Catalea came in, but we've never really looked into, like, what the demon faction is, or how they function, how their society works, maybe more about their goals, but and I wanted to explore some of that, so I'm excited that we could do it in this episode. Also, just because they are the demon faction doesn't mean that they're out to overthrow the vampires and they have some evil plot at work. No, they're just another society, and they're trying to look out for their own society. And they feel as though the way to look out, especially against, you know, a growing vampire empire like the Salazars, they want to do a match. They want to somehow ensure the future of, you know, their society by making sure that they have someone who's going to be on their side within the vampire court. So, yes, we can say their methods are questionable, but it's not like they're trying to murder the princesses or they're trying to overthrow anyone. No, they're just looking out for their own society and, you know, espionage. This is just their way of doing it. Catalea was the espionage, but yeah, this is just their way of doing it. And do the youngsters have to go to academy? Really? Don't go to academy. You guys spend time with each other. Matchmaker K, he's obviously the more social one, you can tell, because he's chatting with Guinevere. He actually went there and danced a little bit. And then the prince, he's just standing here, like, not being social, and he kind of noticed that Prince Mordred was on his own, so he came back and sat down. Mordred, do you want to socialize with anyone? Look, Kyra's having to put a smile on her face, but I don't think she's really happy about this whole thing and Mordred being here. Obviously, like, Channing consumed her entire childhood and teenhood, it's not going to be that easy to forget him, even though the queen feels as though he's kind of been long dead. For Kyra, that's not the case. So she's like, as soon as she was able to, I think she was one of the first people to just get up and like get to the furthest part of the hall away from Mordred. And Mordred is kind of just sticking in his corner there. Now, is that because he feels as though he's too good to socialize with the others? Probably. Probably. He feels as though, oh, am I seeing romance between Lucille and Guinevere? I was just saying about how I'm so proud of Lucille for actually befriending Guinevere, because that's like the one and only friend she's made. I wonder if Lucille's going to be Guinevere's next love interest, guys. I mean, since Lagarthus passed, it's not like Guinevere's cheating or anything, but I wouldn't be opposed to her having a second love, you know? I wouldn't be. I don't want Guinevere to be sad for too long. I do miss Lagartha, but I feel like it's okay. Right, so while they're kind of mingling and chatting as much as possible, look, Kay's over here, he's like dancing as well. Also, we have had 2 kids that recently aged up, which I want to show you guys. So we actually had Estelle. Estelle has aged up, guys, into a teen. Where is she? She's aged up into a teen. She actually looks gorgeous. I've given her a makeover. Look at that, guys. This is Estelle. Now, obviously, because she's a teen, she's also a composite. Because, you know, of a unique heritage. She will have to go through the ritual that cuts off her from her bloodline. Otherwise, she could pose a danger to everyone. But we do have a bunch of things going on in the Empire right now, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get to it just yet. We might have to wait for a bit, but I'll try and do it as soon as possible. I do want to take a look at her before that happens for sure, because she's got these beautiful green eyes, and the thing about going through this ritual, if you're a composite, as we saw with Chance, is that you know, your eyes get taken away, or your eyes become black due to the vampiric energy that is used to cut you off. So she's gonna have black eyes. I'm sad because the green eyes actually look really, really pretty on her. But hey, that is that. And then Lagartha's second son, Reed, he aged up into a child. So this is Reed, guys. He's got freckles like his mother, and he also has her angular face. Maybe we'll see more of it once he gets older, but he does have his mother's angular face. And Estelle, she didn't have freckles when she was younger, but she actually has freckles all over her face, and it looks quite nice on her. Looks very, very lovely on her. Mordred, how you going? He's still by himself over here. He's not quite sure what to do. He's a little bit confused. Mordred, you don't want to interact with anyone? No? No, not at all? Okay. Let's see if maybe he decides. Look, even Eve came over here. She sat down here to take a look at things. Guinevere, are you flirting with Lexi? I don't know what's going on with Guinevere. She is like taking advantage of this banquet. She is totally taking advantage of this banquet. Okay, does anyone have any whims I can help complete right now? You want to become friends with Lady Lucille. Are you already friends with her? But also kind of just want to see, you know, who's interacting with who. Lady Lucille? Where's Lucille? Oh, you're not friends with her, but you want to become friends with her. Oh, good! I'm proud of you, Diana. I really am. And Delphi, what's going on with you? You, Eve was, like, going off at you. I noticed. She wants to be friendly with Eve. Okay, that does make sense. And Eve, how are you going? You want to be friendly with Mother Dearest, and also chat with Lady Lucille. Okay, that's good, that's good. And then Lucille. Stargaze is going to be, it is the daytime though. But oh my goodness, she has like a romance going with Guinevere. And with Kyra? When did that happen? When did this happen? I didn't see this happening. I don't know when that happened. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, well, then again, Lucille's a bit flirtatious, okay? I'm pretty sure she's a romantic. Maybe that has something to do with it. Okay, who else has some interesting whims for us to pursue? Okay, Juno wants to be friendly with Princess Eve, which is kind of novel. She keeps a distance from Eve, except for when she has to train her. And then Kyra doesn't really have any whims for anyone right now. She's returned to her seat. Well, Catalea, you know, she wants to yell at Elaine. Yeah, we know. You and Elaine have it a bit rough right now. Okay, Mordred, he wants to chat with the matchmaker. The matchmaker is like the only one he's interested in socializing with right now. And yeah, the matchmaker wants to chat with the prince and check in on him. Okay, why don't you chat with the matchmaker? Let's gossip about these vampires. Okay, if the matchmaker dislikes dancing, I mean, that's fine. He tried something, he wasn't too fond of it. That's okay. Okay, finally the prince has managed, after observing these ladies for however long, to make his way to matchmaker Kay, who's been going back and forth on the dance floor, to chat a little bit more about these vampires. Okay. And I wonder if he's going to want to chat with anyone else after this. Okay, and Kay has checked up on the prince, which he feels a bit good about. He's probably telling the prince to, you know, get out there and socialize a bit more. But the prince is a little bit conceited and he really doesn't want to go and socialize with the others. He just prefers to, like, stand in a corner and observe everyone. He doesn't want to be the one to try. Come on, prince. You should try. He, like, doesn't want to try. He's like, I'll just stay here. I'll just stay here in my corner. Do my own thing. And you know what's funny? I feel like wherever the prince is, I feel like Kyra is just always in the opposite direction. She, like, doesn't want to be in his vicinity. Oh, Kyra. Oh, Kyra. Are you chatting with anyone right now? No, she's kind of just standing in the corner. The food is starting to go off, unfortunately. Yeah, the food is starting to go off. And the youngsters, you know, they've been like excused from academy for now. Where is Oh, Diana's here. Diana, you blend in. I couldn't even see you, honey. You blend in with everything. But yeah, they've been excused from academy today because they have a very important banquet, obviously. Someone's coming to see their eldest sister. I wonder if Eve wishes like she was the one considered, but also because look, she's sitting there on Kyra's seat, but she actually went and sat next to the prince, but like he didn't talk to her. So I'm wondering if, you know, she wants to get acquainted for him for whatever reason. But the thing is, she probably understands the queen's partial reasoning to pair look how sad, look how upset Kyra is. She's not happy at all. But I think Eve would understand the queen's reasoning for wanting Kyra to be paired up, like, with someone who is not a pure Salazar as a way of protection for the visitant princesses, because that makes Kyra less perfect. Like, she's too perfect right now. She's so perfect, she's actually a danger to her sisters in the queen's eyes. So the queen has to, through, you know, this relation, make her less perfect. Okay, yeah, food is starting to go off. Who ate? Some of the people ate. Some of the people ate. Yeah, food's been here for a while. Food's been here for a while. But that's okay. We can clean up this mess at some other point. Actually, can I get... let me get... Where is it? Maybe I should get like a bin near there. And then while they're interacting with each other, I can just slowly throw the trash away. Yeah, let's get this moved. Where? Maybe we'll get it moved... Where'd it go? Here? Here? Maybe? Okay, we'll leave it be there. And then I can just move the food slowly in that direction while everyone else is doing their business. Yes? Yes, ladies? No? You still want to be frozen? Oh, okay. Well, oh, there we go. It just took them a second. Okay, I'm just gonna slowly start disposing of all of these things while everyone chats with each other. Mordred still has not socialized with anyone. I swear, Mordred is such an antisocial. But you know, I feel like that fits his personality. I don't know if he's brooding necessarily. I don't think so. I feel like he's super like sarcastic. That's the image I get of him. He's quiet, and when he speaks, he's really sarcastic. He doesn't give like straight up compliments. If he does, there's always something else underlying it. Like with Kyra, you know, he said the rumors are true, and then he had to follow it up by saying I was half expecting them to be lies. And I feel like the entire time they were sitting at the banquet table, he was looking across at all the other princesses and like being really judgmental. That's what I get from him. And then I can just imagine Kay being like overly enthusiastic and trying to encourage him to like socialize with the others, like go talk with the princess, go talk to everyone a little bit more. You know, that's gonna be your future wife. And look, he absolutely hates dancing as well, but he's still doing it because he knows he's here for a reason, and he should, regardless of how he feels, get the task done. So like, he's not having any fun, but he is still going ahead and is still dancing. And look at Kyra, she's not happy. She was dancing a little bit, and then she noticed that the prince was like staring at her, and then she stopped. Oh, Kyra. Oh, Kyra. Mordred, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to, he's not motivated to like speak to anyone. I mean, he said yes for this match and, you know, having to go to a whole other kingdom and having to marry into a whole other empire. He's on board with the matchmaking process. Unlike Kyra, like, he's not being forced into it. But at the same time, it's not like he's looking for true love and he's jumping over himself to fall in love with Kyra. That's not it. He knows the reason why he's sent, or, you know, why the demon faction wanted to make a match. And he kind of put himself up as one of the candidates. And after looking at a bunch of people, Kay picked Mordred. And, you know, they talked with Mordred about it. And Mordred was fine with this whole thing. So, you know, he's here. They probably are aware that Kyra's being forced, but they don't care. They don't care because there's an end that they want, and Kyra's compliance has nothing to do with it. For them, probably the most important person right now is Eden and Catalea, the ones who are like making the match. And then you guys were asking, if Mordred and Kyra get married, like, what's going on with the children's situation? Like, is she exclusively going to have his kids? Well, currently the plan is not the case. Mordred, once he's, you know, married to Kyra, he will have the prestige and the, I suppose, the benefit of having Kyra's first child with her. And then Kyra will partner up with other males as normal. But he's going to have, like, the highest rank among all the males because he, you know, is going to be married to a princess. And obviously, the demons, they're kind of riding on the fact that Kyra is going to become queen because, you know, if she doesn't become queen, she's going to be demoted to nobility. And then the prince over here, I don't know what his situation is going to be, if he's going to continue being called a prince or if he's going to be demoted to lord or whatever else. But obviously, if he was like the queen's husband, the queen's, you know, prince consort, then that would be a big deal. He would have like a very high status. His status would even be above all of the other noble ladies. And then if they have a child together, especially if they have a daughter together, then again, you know, the demons, they're going to have kind of a strong hold on the vampiric family or the vampiric court. And then if anything happens in the future, they can look out for their own interests because they're people on the throne or the people within the family who also have demon heritage. So, yeah, that's something that the demons have been thinking about. Hi. Okay, well, you two, you were having a fight, but you seem to be in a better mood now, I suppose? Okay, well, that's great. I'm glad that's working out for you guys. You know, the girls have been really good, I feel like, well-behaved. they've been very well behaved in this entire banquet. They weren't loud or anything like that. They were sticking to each other mostly. I think more or less it has been a bit of a success. Let's replace this. And I think we can end, and you know, the youngsters probably had way better time than Kyra did. Kyra started off on a strong foot, but I feel like she can't help but letting some of that unhappiness kind of seep out. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the Demon Matchmaker, and then, you know, the Demon Prince, and this whole situation. And I'll see you all next time. When we come back, we are going to be having Princess Diana's birthday into a teen, so that's going to be exciting. We'll probably also get... maybe we'll get Estelle's situation sorted out. I'm not too sure. I'll have to think about it. But okay, guys, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.